true or false kind of decision making. It have multiple validations it will perform, and then this ID will have internal customer ID, means the redirection will happen through the Salesforce, and then the ID is external user, means the federation service configuration will be invoked, which is already configured in the OpenAIM. The federation service, two entities playing in the role. One is identity manager, another is service provider. So this corporate user store will, all the IDs will be stored in the identity store, and then the SAML config protocol will be invoked, and then the SAML subject will be transferred between identity and service provider. Along with that, it will have the relay state. The relay state will store all the session of the particular transactions, and then it will have in the inside SAML have three bindings will be there. I used HTTP post binding. Normally it will certificate binding, post binding, various binding will be there. I use HTTP post binding. So through the HTTP URL redirection, the authentication flow will happen. It will reach the accession consumer service URL, and then it will redirect to the respective pages. This is the typical flow in this project. These are authentication nodes configured in the AIM console, which is within the box itself, not out of box. These authentication tree and authentication node configuration we can perform in the AIM console itself. We have to go to click RAM, and then RAM we have to click application. Under that we have to click authentication tree. We have to give the authentication tree name, and then we have to perform the remaining configurations. Custom nodes I didn't created. Whatever built-in Forgerock nodes I used. Scripted decision node I didn't used, but I hear about we have to write some script for decision making of these nodes. Either some script, JavaScript, or some Perl scripts we have to use to perform this activity. JavaScript I worked. Yeah, JavaScript I worked. Yes, yes, the callbacks there. In the callback, what it will do, each endpoint will be triggered and it will back to the same accession consumer service URL only, and then the browser SSO will be triggered. It will be configured. It will call the respective the callback method. It will be in the JavaScript callback method. It's kind of once the request is triggered, and then it will perform some operation and then return back to the same origin. It will have the promises and observer and all will be there. That will be asynchronous call we can make. Similarly, callback also one of the method to make the call and get the response in the origin server. HTML callback will be there. In the HTML, we have put custom messages. That page will be triggered for static messages. Yeah, OAuth 2.2 I used. For OAuth 2.2, we have OAuth Java is OAuth 2 client, and Forgerock I used as the authorization server, and then resource server will be the actual Java application. Here inside what we have to go to admin console and then go to RAM and then application, and then we have to click OAuth 2.2. It will ask client ID and client secret we have to give. that same thing we have to share to the Java team. The Java team will take this client ID client secret in the application YAML file, and then they will make a Forgerock a built-in API called get access token. That get access token method will return the one access token. That access token will have three component. One is payload, expiry time, and then it will have a auth level, a role auth with auth roles details will be there. And then the access token is valid. It will take our detail, and then it will take each service call. This will pass as a bearer token, and then this will validate against the authorization server, and then success. Then it will give the response. Otherwise, it will give three type of error messages. That is token missing, or token is null, or unauthorized token, or insufficient privileges. These kind of error messages will come as per the validation response. These are private clients. No, I don't know the difference. Private client, it could be within the organization client, or public client might be the outside the organization client. That's what I'm guessing, but I'm not very sure. Password scope is there, or the password scope, based on the password level, the scope will be work in the OAuth. OAuth differ from OIDC. Why? Because when we do application to application authorization, that time we go for OAuth.o. When you have a user to application authentication, that time we go for OIDC. OAuth will be authorization level. OIDC the uh, authentication level. When the user to application interaction happen, those places OIDC is used. When the application to application authentication, the time OAuth will be used. OAuth call, what will have, it will have our client ID, client secrets will be there. In OIDC, plain username will be there. The user ID, password kind of details will be there. It won't have a application level details won't be there. And yeah, mm, OAuth 2.0, if sometimes additional security, they will share the private keys as well. But here it won't be there. Sorry, grant type, OAuth grant type, token level grant type, success token grant type. Yeah, I had authorization code grant type. Yeah. Authorization code, what will happen? There is one generic code will be exchanged between IDP and SP. That generic code will place in the authorization code in the property file. This code will be transferred uh, whenever the client will make any SSO call. That time, this along with that, this token will be carried, and then this token will be validated against in the authorization server. If it is granted, it's granted, it will give success message. This success message, once it's come back, again it will allow for the access the SSO. This authorization code grant flow will work. Sorry. Yeah, yeah, right, right. I worked on open token connector. I worked. If I want to connect one IAM solution to Java application, for example, the vendor will provide a open token adapter. That adapter is a jar file that will be placed in the Java application, and then that will give capability to read our SAML message responses. If any ACS, whatever normally Association Consumer Service URL will give one URL to the third parties. The third party use that URL. They will generate one metadata XML file. Through that XML file, the SAML subject will be exchanged. To read the SAML subject, this adapter will be helpful when the client side, application side, they integrate. They can able to read the SAML response and then read the actual SAML subject for the further authentication purpose. Custom endpoints we can create in the identity Forgerock identity manager itself. We have to go for entry endpoint section. Then we have to create the or custom endpoints. Oh, sorry, which topology? Okay, the replication topologies we used uh, backup backup strategy we followed. Each periodic every week, the data stores will be taken as a backup and the multiple from the multiple nodes. What happened? We have wrote one separate batch job that want to be a hard backup. We are not stopping this particular batch job. It will read from the DS, and then those records will be transferred into the backup DS. It's kind of offline. It will run periodic as per the scheduled count scheduled time. This will happen. Bad generation ID, that could be whether the service will be down when we take up the backup, uh, or the while writing the records that service will be down. That will be resolved. We have to do the retry mechanism. It will try again after 10 minutes. It will try and then it will take the backup. Forgerock identity gateway not used here, but it is one of the component in the gateway level. We have to deploy each request. It will validate. If it is trusted, then it will forward to the next level. That is Forgerock IAG call, identity gateway call. No, I didn't work the Forgerock identity gateway. I didn't work. No, no, I didn't create custom node. I didn't create the existing node only I used. What we have to do, we have to reach the application team, and then we have to get the dev tool. We have to go to browser dev tool, and we have to check the request response we have to take. The same request response will have authentication time. What is the request header? What is the request body? And we have to copy and put it into our postman. In the postman we have to trigger, and then we have to live log we have to open and check. The application log will say some error code from the Forgerock side. Then we have to check the Forgerock logs, and then it will give any clue we have to identify. The application log, compare the application log and then our Forgerock logs, and then we have to trigger the same thing we have to trigger in our lower environment, like dev environment we have to trigger. And then if any issue we have to fix in the app level or Forgerock level. If any issue is there, any particular directory server record issues or any IAM issues, we have to fix, and then we have to promote to in the higher environment. Once we have to test our local, we have to promote the code fix to the higher environment. Like that we can fix. Yeah, yeah, production support. I worked provisioning the user, deprovisioning, onboarding the applications. Yeah. Supporting tools in the sense, whatever the tickets will become in the service now, and then we have to uh, service now tool I used, and then fixing the issues. There is no separate tool. Like we have to replicate into our lower environment, and then we have to fix. Source for the log, production log. We have to open our OpenAM. And, actually, the OpenAM deployed into the Tomcat web apps folder. So Tomcat, inside the Tomcat, we have one server, and the logs will be there. In the logs, whatever the OpenAM related issues, we can see in that one. Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. Actually, double equal operator will compare the actual object references. Triple equal to operator will be primitive types values will be compared in the triple equal to operator. Double equal will be actual object references will be compared. Mhm. Mhm. Once we receive the last four digit from the browser, what we have to compare, we have to make one get user detail call against our Forgerock directory server. This get user detail method is built-in method into Forgerock. Once we get the response, we have to extract compare the last four digit from the API call as well as the browser request. Both match we have to validate. So we have to strip, we have to use substring method. We have to use JavaScript. That will be a substring of last digit. We have to remove it. Suppose 10 digit means first to 6 is 0 to 6. We have to remove it, and then the remaining value will be last 4 digit. That value will compare against our uh, browser client. We have to use substring method. Once the response is come, we have to read the phone number, substring of 0 to 6. Then the value will be remaining value we have to compare. Okay, in the international number, we have to reverse the from right to left. We have to read, and then fourth value we reach, we have to break the loop. We have to write like for int I equals 0, I less than, instead of I less than, we have to put I greater, and then I minus minus. Yeah, we have to compare if it is 4. We have to break the loop. If it reach the length is 4, then we have to break the loop. So only the from left hand to right, whatever 4 digit come, that we have to take. Hmm. Token authentication method is a REST call only. In the REST call is one of the get access token method. That endpoint will be built-in endpoint in the Forgerock box. This get access token call, once we make, that will give our access token. Access token will have three components. One is expiry date. One is our role based detail. Another one is our what we call three things. One is expiry, one is role based things, and first one will be something will be there that will be generated, and then it will return back to the client. Authentication method. Uh, Authentication method is just it's API call only. It's get call, get call of this API. That is authorization code grant flow. This mechanism authorization code grant flow. Yeah, yeah, correct. The client authentication method is, I think, post HTTP post binding. I'm not able to recollect. I guess HTTP post binding, I think. Nonce is one of the scope. It's similar to authorization code grant flow. That will be only the user IDs it will take, and then it will validate against their authentication scheme. State attribute, I think relay state. The relay state will have the session scope. This particular project, it's for which client this particular project we have to develop? This is for Infosys project, huh? Okay, fine. This is for support project or we have to develop some new IAM features? Okay. It's not production support, we have to develop from scratch, right? Some new solutions we have to build. Project, okay. Okay, fine. That's fine. Thanks. Mm. Thank you. Bye bye.